In Galatians chapter 2, we discover something that completely transforms the way we live our lives as Christians. Galatians 2 verse 20 starts like this: I have been crucified with Christ. The Apostle Paul uses a Greek tense here called the perfect tense. Don't miss this. The perfect tense in Koine Greek is this: it describes an event that has taken place in the past, but the results of that event exist right now in the present. In other words, the death of Jesus on the cross took place 2,000 years ago, but the results of his death are still in effect today. What does that mean for you and I? The death of Christ was not just his death. It was my death. It was your death. It was the death of our selfishness, the death of our pride, the death of a self-focused life. The old me, the old you died. See, when Christ died on the cross, we died to sin. The sinful, self-obsessed person we were before we trusted Christ, that person came to an end. So, if the death of Christ was also our death, who are we right now? Paul answers this question for us as he continues. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. Paul isn't saying that we lose our personality. Instead, he's pointing out that the entire foundation of our lives has shifted. And we see everything now from a new perspective. Because we were crucified with Christ, our life is literally the dwelling place of Jesus. And he is present and active in our lives through the person and work of the Holy Spirit. See, this is the present day and ongoing effect of the cross in our lives. It's not I who live. In other words, we no longer look inwards for guidance and answers. We no longer place ultimate trust in ourselves. Instead, we give up control of our lives and depend and rely on him in every circumstance. The Apostle Paul continues and says this: and the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God. Notice he says, the life I now live. See, this is a different life than the one before. This is the life that happens as a result of having died with Christ. This is the crucified life. This is our life in light of the cross. When Paul says the flesh, he's acknowledging that life is temporary. And so every day that we have left in this temporary life, we're going to live that life one way. We will live our lives by faith in the Son of God, by faith in Jesus Christ. So what does this mean for us? It means that our life is done differently. Our actions, our thoughts, our relationships are different. Living life by faith in Jesus transforms and informs every area of our lives. Here's the last part of verse 20 altogether. And the life I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. Friend, you are not just a face in the crowd of Jesus. He didn't die for a random crowd of people. He knows your name. He gave himself for you. He gave himself for me. The cross was not some robotic and impersonal transaction. Jesus substituted himself for you because he loved you. And now we belong to him because he has literally purchased us by sacrificing his own life for us, by paying the debt that we could not pay. So take this gospel perspective with you today, that you have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer you who live, but Christ lives in you. And the life you now live in the flesh, you live by faith in the Son of God, who loved you and gave himself for you.